did just what the home.
I was the black cat. I used to have bad luck. Now every girl wanna really matter that much. A college dropout and
So well, my friends, next court in the line, rank 7. Watch. No, this is only beside, you know. Very beautiful place, and now we have a court which leveled up. This was a few years ago at rank 15. You know, 15 down, and now at rank 7. We are at most rings court. Bam! So here we are, rank 7 now, the top courts, you know. But this was rank 15. Now what has changed that this has leveled up now? There's one big reason, but I will show you. This is called the most rings court because there are more rings than at any other place court in the whole city. You know, 5 boards, 5 rings. Very cool place. Also such a construction like here you don't find at any other place. You know, normally you have a cage and another cage, and that is very, very cool. The court, you know, I have played here in the late 90s, you know, late 90s and early 2000s I was here, and since then around this court exists. I cannot tell you exactly, but I think 1995, 6, around that time I would say they have built this, but it can also be other. So now we get passengers, you know. But the thing is, there were a lot of players back in the days, and there are a lot of players nowadays, you know. And when I was there, that was when the and one time was going very, very big, you know. They were really good in the style of and one players, you know. They made their tricks and things that was really the hip-hop clothes, you know, the white peggies. That was really, really cool. When you watch now, that is also a little bit similar from the ground to the early 90s courts what I told you, but it is not that red orange. That is a bit other, you know, but it is still very hard, and there you can play very good because it's so hard and it's not soft. But the lines, you see, you don't see much anymore, but there are lines, you know. And here, but the middle line, you know, the court is smaller than an original court, you know. I don't know if you see that on camera, but you have enough space, you know, and that is pretty cool. And here, for example, the downsides, we come to this first. Here you have a scratch in, you see, they have made here something, but it's only on that side, you know. On that side we don't have it, but the downsides, you know, there was a big downsides why I ranked it number 15 back in the days, and these were the boards, because there were other boards which were they were the most roughed up boards from them all, you know. But we will come to this. But the downsides were and are still that there is beach, you know, beach volleyball, and here do football, but cool, you know, on sand football field. But you see, the sand is also here. The wind, whatever, brings it here. And you see there is all sand in the grass. And then of course the sand is always in this court. And here I would never trust that you run fast, because it is very smooth also. So you can slip out very easily. So never run. But that is as a street baller, you know. You always have to adjust to the court. You cannot do like on some indoor courts always 100%. And you see there is all sand, you know, you see that? And that is still here. And so you can imagine how slippery it is. And you see there is all sand in, you know. And the funny thing is also on the other side, and that is something what I don't understand. The hole on the edges here, there is all sand. But why? Here you don't need sand. That I don't get. That was always so, you know. And this sand of course goes in, and so that is the downside, you know. But when you know it, you can adjust to it. And now they built a new building. You have seen it at the beginning. There was also the place of the sports center here with football, but now they built a whole complex in again, you know. Now in the city there is so much what changes. All green things they put away, you know, and all they build buildings, and so the vibes will change here. But this place like now will still exist, but it is a downside that they will build here, because that was also sports place, you know. So, and the other downside, but that we don't have anymore, that was the board. That was the oldest board. And they were the biggest, you know. Still this is so big, one of the biggest in town. But back then, when you throw the ball, that was like a wet paper, you know. When you have such a wet paper book and you throw the ball to the board, it made budge and it falls straight down. So you could always throw from outside, from a 3-pointer to the board, because there was no rebound. It always fall into the ring, you know. That was an advantage, but the board was completely over. That was completely damaged and broke out and everything. And now a new board, rings still, you know, are not the best rings, but you see iron net. We have the iron net master, so greetings to you. One who loves the iron nets like me. No, he don't like it. I can understand it, you know, but that is an own part. But I can only tell you that we had a lot of rings where no net was, and no net is so ugly because the ball falls out, rolls so far away, and the normal nets get always damaged by us, you know. People hang on, kids and this and that, and then they have never renewed it, you know, never. And so we are happy to have such rings, because then the ball always falls out straight, you know, and you don't have to run, and that is much more comfortable. So we like the iron nets, you know, but the indoor players will not like it, that I know. So, but you see that is absolutely beautiful from the panorama. Really cool. You see the first people come. We have it Sunday around 11 o'clock now, 12, 11 midday, and yeah, beautiful. But also those buildings, they were all not here, you know, they were not here. In that building I was a few years in. That is an old people's house. They have also built this, but that looks pretty cool now. But that was an old building. I've always watched out from that building, you know, to the basketballers. Was cool. Yeah, and you can play really good. And now rank 7, why? Because other boards, and now the boards are really good. And now that has, you know, that makes a big difference. And so cool place, an original one, lot of players here. And yeah, very nice to sit. There were a lot of teenagers back in the days, you know, spent their time here, schools. And yeah, really cool. With the out view, here is a dock area. And yeah, so I have to rank it up, and now we have a new rank 7, not an upside like other courts. How it's called, to go up, you know, very cool. And that it is. So from that nice place we will see us at rank 6, but this will be the biggest upsets of them all. There you will be surprised what court this is, but very big upset. And then you will see. Until then, bye and ciao.
And I always do it big because I can.